Hi, I'm Lou, another episode of My Car Store. We have a perfect day in the western suburbs of Chicago. I'm here with Terry. Terry, what's your last name?
Weiner.
And Terry has a car that we're going to show you that he has purchased and ordered brand spanking new. So this is the original owner of this car. And Terry, what do we have?
1971 American Motors Javelin AMX.
And he's also the co-director of the Javelin registry.
The Javelin AMX registry.
How many original 71 AMXs were there?
Out of the 2,054, we are talking about 55 members in the registry for the 71 year.
And the reason why that is they just disintegrated. They all rusted out.
The unibody construction didn't hold up too well over the years.
Yeah.
And they weren't really worth a lot of money after a few years of ownership, so most of them did wind up in the scrapyard.
We've got a special car. I'll grab this. Thank you, Tom. So come on back with me. Terry, here's our featured attraction. Your 71 purchased brand new AMX. And this is just not a normal AMX. Let's get a little closer. The reason why I say that is because your AMX has won some awards. Tell me about that.
Yes, this won Best of Show American Motors Owners Association in 2009.
Best of Show. Unbelievable. Tell me about this grill. Why is that grill so significant?
Well, Mark Donahue actually designed it for Trans Am racing for the 71 season. So there's a couple of features on the AMX. It being the upgrade of the Javelin. AMX was its own car in 1968, 69, and 70, its own vehicle. And in 71, it became the performance model for the Javelin.
Okay, let's get an overall look of the side of this.
It's a long hood and short deck. Very lightweight car.
We'll let people take all that in. That's got wonderful curves.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on there, and with the metallic paint job, it really does pop in the sunlight.
And you were sharing with me, back in 71, you just didn't see these. I mean, even in 71, you didn't see them.
No, back in 71, back in the day, I never saw another 71 Javelin AMX on the road. And I drove this car every day for 7 years.
Wow. And when did you start to restore it?
Well, you're always restoring it, always collecting parts. You know, you decide that you want to get it back to the way it was when it left the factory. So I was able to get a lot of parts, NOS, new old stock, in the boxes. And actually, there's very few reproduction parts available for the car. So there's very few reproduction parts on the car.
So it's not like buying a Pontiac and now you can get the Pontiac, check out the hood and the scoop there that you
now,
can see.
This car does not have the cowl induction. That was an option. They did have a Go-Pack option, which included a T-stripe on the hood. It included a functional cowl induction hood.
Okay.
And some other options, including the machine wheels that you see on the car, which was a separate option. But this I ordered with a 2-barrel because back in 1971, the insurance surcharges were almost like 100%. So you're paying double the insurance.
Yeah,
being a young man under 25 years old driving a pony car with a 4-barrel, they really socked it to you. So I ordered it with a 2-barrel, and it's a pretty interesting deal underneath the hood. American Motors, the 2-barrel engine that they put in my car was actually destined for International Harvester.
Really?
So
we're going to look at that in a second. Let's look at your trunk, though.
Sure.
We're going to definitely talk engine in a minute. Why would I do the trunk of this car? Because this trunk is the prototype. Since this car got that kind of an award recognition of being best of show, Terry's got everything.
Every overspray, every
every
detail that we could duplicate from actually having the luxury of being an original owner. I was able to duplicate the way it came from the factory.
And look at this, he's even got the red bottle which was thrown down there back in that time frame. That's how they did it. And he's got the original jack information that you can pause and stop there in every piece. Okay, let's shut that. You know what I love too was in the rear reverse light, the bullseye.
For the Javelin.
And top, you know, and the AMX logo here, just in case. And
Red, white, and blue.
you know what's great too, and the red, white, and blue was one of their race cars back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, in 1970 they had a Trans Am Javelin, which was red, white, and blue, and it didn't sell too well. So in 1970 they, later in the model year, March of that year, they built, they changed from red, white, and blue, and you were able to get the same car in any color. And they actually sold 2,500 of the cars, not red, white, and blue, after only 100 in the red, white, and blue. Actually, the dealers started repainting some of those red, white, and blue cars because they just didn't sell.
Really? Because it was just a little too much over the top for
Too much
people.
over the top, and even this car, the advertisement was styling so wild it might turn some people off. So one of the reasons I ordered it in the burnished brown metallic color that it is, just to make it a little bit more conservative.
Just to make it a little. Is this the
That's the data
fender?
tag. That will tell you the body number and also what the color of the car is, and it designates the leather interior. The trim is the leather interior.
So almost like what we have in most cars on the under the hood.
Yes.
Okay. And we've got the back of the cars. Got some nice room, some bucket
This car
seats.
was ordered with leather interior, and that's what you're seeing in there, leather interior.
That's nice.
The rear defogger is a real rare option. It was the electric rear window defogger with the grids in the rear glass.
You know what?
The switch is down here.
Where is that switch? Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, living in Chicago, you need that option. I'm enjoying the interior. The interior is really neat. I mean, they've got this turned metal piece here.
It was kind of unusual because it was
this
they
red
called it
stripe.
the engine turn dash. They called that the metal dash. And then it had almost a cockpit effect to it, where the gauges surrounded the driver.
Yeah.
But the passengers area was just very, very sparse.
Well, it gives you this whole. You're in the driver's seat. You're running the show, with the weather eye here. And to your point, here's what the passenger seat.
Yeah, look, the console's on the other side of the pod. You had to reach around to get to the glove box.
You're a little sun, but that should. If I put my hand right there, I think we'll be okay.
The car was ordered with the AM/FM stereo, the rear defogger, the leather seats, the power disc brakes, the power steering, and handling package, which heavy-duty shocks.
So if we're taking a look, I want to just sit back here. If you're the driver, it kind of looks like that versus that. Okay, let's take a look at the console's nice too. Let's take a look under the hood. All right, so there's our 362 barrel, which I know people are going to say, where's the 390? Well, that's, he told you he was a teenager and he didn't want to get tapped on half his life savings on insurance.
Yeah, the optional engine that year was it was the first year for the 401.
401, okay, the 401 first year, got it. Tell us about this red, because that took a while to get people to understand that red was the correct color.
The original director of the registry had sent out a form to fill out, and they wanted to know if my engine was aqua or blue. And I sent it back, and I put my own little check mark, and I said, no, my engine is red.
And by the way, there's a different kind of red. What was the other kind of red?
The other red that they actually did produce this year was called Rampart Red, which was used for California emissions and also service blocks.
Okay.
They're usually painted red. Well, it wasn't a service block because I ordered the car and got it like 5 weeks later, so the engine was never out of the car. The transmission was also painted red, as was the intake manifold and the other components of the engine. But we take it to the national events, and the judges just didn't understand what they were looking at, and they said, -1 for the paint for the block and -1 for the paint on the heads. This went on for years, trying to convince them that my car came this way.
Yeah.
So found out a few years later that it was an International Harvester engine that American Motors had laying around, that they must have had some extras. And the funny thing about it is that it was a high compression engine.
Wow.
Because the vehicles that were not passenger vehicles could run on unleaded gas, but all the passenger cars had to run on unleaded gas. So this car knocked and pinged in its early history, and didn't realize why until I pulled the heads off and found out that it had high compression heads.
Is that right?
So We're pretty sure it's the International Harvester engine. It's got the correct paint for International Harvester.
Sure
and
does.
again, it's got the high compression heads, sold after all cars were supposed to run on unleaded gas, which meant low compression heads.
Let's turn it on. And by the way, once that was established, what happened? Then this car was a championship
Yeah, it
winner.
won Best of Show American Motors Owners Association in 2009.
Let's turn it on. Let's hear it. Starts right up. Looks great.
It's a real strong running 362 barrel.
I want to get just a little exhaust on it. Come back.
Sure. Actually, drag raced this car in the early 70s.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Terry, let's have you shut the door. And shut the engine. Let's have you shut the hood. Terry, stand right next to it. We know the routine. Terry, thanks for sharing with us a tremendous car. Thanks for being on My Car Story.
Thank you, Lou.
Hi, I'm Lou, another episode of My Car Story. I'm here with Terry. Terry, what's your last name?
Weiner.
Terry, thanks for being with us today. We're at the World of Wheels. Come on out in Rosemont, Illinois. Great car show, and we'll talk about some of the cars. We're going to talk to one of the owners right now, a great AMC car. So let me grab the camera as I usually do. Terry, let me grab this. Tell me, first of all, why are you so in love with this car? What happened?
Well, I was 18 years old a bunch of years ago, and the magazine articles would come out late in the fall. They had a picture, or actually a sketch of a 71 Javelin AMX, and I really liked it. I liked the front spoiler. I liked the rear spoiler. I loved the hood. And the interior was kind of interesting too. So after driving a GTO for a few years, I thought it might be a nice change to maybe try something different.
Come on alongside me. Let's take a look at what you got. And here it is. So, wow. This is a really awesome looking AMX. 1971, we just got done with the gas crunch coming upon us. So kind of a difficult engine to get the 401, but really straight grill, which is difficult to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that's actually stainless steel. And back in the day, you can see the pencil-thin front bumper. It didn't give a lot of protection from people backing into your car. But luckily, I was able to find a brand new in the box one, and that's what you're seeing there.
That is great. And this car is just super sharp. Let's come around the side of it. I want to get a straight-on shot of it, too. Now, how long have you had it?
I've had it about 4 years now.
And it's just a beauty. I mean, let's feature some of the. We got the Javelin emblem there. We've got this T-stripe. People can see this. Let me just kind of zone in a little bit so people can see the stripe kind of moves up there as it radiates. As you can see,
The vinyl top on top.
the vinyl top. I just want to show the vinyl top too. The vinyl top looks like that. So let's take a look at the overall side of the car. So you've got a couple of these.
Yeah, I've got two of them. This one's a 401. I also have a 360 with a two-barrel, which I did buy in 71 during the gas crunch. Trying to save on insurance, trying to save on gasoline.
And you were telling me that this one is the 401 Go Pack, right?
401 Go Pack, 401 cubic inches. The Go Pack in this year, let me see if I can remember everything that came with. It came with the T-stripe. It came with the 15-inch, they're called machine wheels. It was an option for the Rebel machine in 1970, and they carried it over in 71 for the Javelin AMX.
Take a look at
Standard on
those.
the Go Pack. It had the Goodyear Polyglass E60 by 15 fiberglass belted tires with the white letters. The Go Pack included front disc brakes, rear power drum brakes. It has the front spoiler, the rear spoiler, and when you get around to the back of the car, you can see it had a blacked out tail panel. Now, they built Javelins, they built many Javelins back in 1971, but they only built 2,054 of the AMX.
So we're looking at not only a unique car, and back in 71, let's face it, we didn't have much as far as water leaving your car. So these things rust, not just yours, but all the cars just rusted out.
The unibody construction, I can't tell you how much rust there was on this car, and my 71 that I bought new back in 71 that I restored in 2002, rust was an issue. It was a major issue. And that's why you don't see too many of these cars around, because some of them are so far gone, they're very, very hard to repair. Parts are not the easiest. I must say that I have found every part that I need for this car. And when I restored my other AMX, I have found every part for that. So I've been very fortunate, but finding good used parts for these cars is it's not easy.
It just looks fantastic. What was the color you shared with me on this car?
It's called mustard yellow.
Mustard yellow.
Call it like a dark yellow.
And I'll just show there's this little ridge on the
It looks like a little bit of a spoiler.
like a little spoiler right there on
Sure.
the roof, and then again we've got the split T. Or let me get one more shot of this side. Although I've got it on the other side, we've got a little more light on this side to really get this color. So when you're driving this, what are people's reactions?
You always get the thumbs up. I must say that this car doesn't have a lot of miles on it, so
Yeah.
I'll have to relate to my other AMX.
Okay.
That we do drive a little bit.
And I was just noticing too. Tell me a little bit. First of all, we got this hood scoop there.
Cowl induction.
Cowl
It is
induction.
Cowl induction, sure.
And again, there's another kind of look at the stripe and how it moves back down. Tell me about the T-stripe here. What's the difference in the stripe? Go ahead, stand next to it.
Okay. This is a later model. I'm sorry, an earlier model of the T-stripe, which forms over the fender. We understand that at the assembly line in Kenosha, where this car was built, they were having problems on the assembly line putting this section of the T-stripe on the car. It was slowing the assembly line down. So a quick fix was to change the design, and starting sometime, I believe in November of 1971, instead of what you see over here, like this, they made a wingtip on the fender, which is a lot easier to install. So this being an early production Javelin AMX, build date of late October, they actually didn't come out until November. I do remember that, going to the dealers late in 1970, looking for the color that I wanted for my 71 that I bought new. I was told that these cars wouldn't come out till November. So this being an October build, this is probably one of the first ones. So this T-stripe should be correct for this car as is.
Let's just, there's the overall look at the front. Let's take a look at the interior.
Sure.
And they've got us here early, so we're gonna also, and you gotta enjoy the AMX interior, right? I mean, it's got that kind of spinning metal
They called it engine turn.
engine turn, which is right
This
there.
car has the visibility group, which included the remote mirror. It's some interior lights as part of it. That's the bezel for the remote mirror. What's interesting about this car is that it has a corduroy interior, something you don't see very often.
Yeah, we're getting a deep look at the corduroy. We're gonna take one step back out just to get an overall look.
Vinyl was standard. Leather was an option. My other 71 has a leather interior. This one has a corduroy interior.
The corduroy interior. Yeah, you don't hear that often on any cars, do you?
Another option, or actual standard equipment for the 71 early production, was this rim blow steering wheel. Okay, so just squeeze it right there and it blows the horn.
Gotcha. Cool.
There you go.
Very neat.
This car is AM/FM stereo. It's got the rally gauge package, which included the clock and the tachometer. Air conditioned. Got the wood grain shifter.
140 speedometer there. And usually it didn't go to $8,000, correct?
These cars were not real high winding cars like the Chevys, but
Clock
this
working.
car being as light as it is, it really moves.
Really nice interior. You mentioned that one of the things I know when we were talking, you said, I used to love the way it makes me feel like I'm in a cockpit.
Right, that's the design I saw in that magazine ad way back in 1970. It was quite unusual. If you actually sit in the passenger seat, it's that grab bar is quite far away. Takes some getting used to, but in the driver's seat, it just works.
It works, and we got the speaker on top there, and
two in the back with the AM/FM stereo.
two in the back. I gotcha.
Other 71 has
Back
the
there.
electric rear defogger. This car does not have that, but it would have the electric grid in the back.
Let's pop the hood first. That's nice.
This is also air conditioned.
There's your hood with some venting in it.
It's got a flapper back here, so the air comes through here by vacuum.
Let me feature that.
It's got a 4-barrel carburetor.
The air conditioner, as you shared, looks just spectacular. Your hot and cold. Let me get that information right there. People can read that and stop on it whenever they'd like.
There are a lot of minor changes during the 1971 model here with this Javelin AMX. Steering wheel changed, the seats changed.
I'm gonna try to, go ahead.
Little things here and there. So if you see one that looks a little bit different, it might be correct.
I'm gonna get some of these badgings on your engine. And Terry, this might be the first time you've ever seen them. So. You'll actually be able to read them. Well, let's take an overall look. There's the power steering, and it just looks spectacular. Let's start it. Somebody else here is starting it as well, but you can still hear the exhaust note.
It's also standard with the 401.
Sounds great. Let's shut it off. We'll shut the hood and shut the door and have you stand next to it. Terry, stand right there. Hey, thanks for being on My Car Story.
Thank you very much. Glad to